Chelsea have completed the set. Chelsea are Conference League winners, and I think everyone thought Chelsea were going to win this competition from the start. Everyone knew Chelsea was the best team in this competition, but knockout competitions, they aren't always easy. You've got to win games, you've got to play a lot of games, you've got to be there. And Betis showed in the first half, it could have been a difficult game. I think Maresca got everything spot on in terms of game management and the substitutions today, but Maresca, I think, came in. Badiashile started, was just surprise to me. Gusto started, and then Maresca was like, we've gone too easy on these guys. Made a couple of subs, and then Sancho and Kieran Trewsbury-Hall came on later on, and they were really good, but Reece James was the main difference. And Chelsea just destroyed Betis in that second half. Like, Betis couldn't do anything in that second half. Of course, the left winger that was causing issues came off. Isco was really good in the first half, but his legs were just cooked. But Anthony's been balling it up in La Liga. He couldn't do anything today. Cucurella was excellent, but Anthony looked back to Man United Anthony, which just shows, I think, the quality in the Premier League. And I've always said in the transfer window, maybe we need to go for Premier League proven players. Like, I'm Man United fan saying Man United needs to go for Premier League proven players, because you can see why. There's definitely a level of quality between the Premier League and La Liga. And everyone's saying, oh, Spanish teams don't lose in finals. And I'm like, yeah, but Chelsea are just so much better. But that first half, I thought, damn, like Betis are cooking Chelsea here. Gusto was having issues. They were hungrier. They were to every ball. They'd been playing really good football. I thought, maybe we are going to get a surprise here, but yeah. Chelsea showed up in the second half, and Cole Palmer was back. Cole Palmer turned into the Cole Palmer that we all know. The Cole Palmer, the first half of the season, Cole Palmer, last season's Cole Palmer, and he changed that game. And he is by far man of the match. We're going to talk about him because that was ridiculous. He's so good. I've always said, I know he's at a drop in form, but you can't doubt Cole Palmer's quality. He's the type of player that could just turn the game around in a second. He's got that quality, and he showed that today. So, in today's video, we're going to be reviewing Chelsea 4, Betis 1. I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on the match as a Manchester United fan, on Chelsea, on the performance, on the players, the standouts, and, why I think Chelsea could be a problem next season. I look at Chelsea, and I think if you look at the squad, if they build a strong core, they bring in 3 or 4 good experience, I say experience, just players in their prime, no more youngsters. To build that core, they're good. They need a top centre-back to replace Thiago Silva. They need a top striker. They're looking at Delap. I will go for Victor Osimhen if I was you guys. He's a proper box striker. And probably a proper left winger. Petrovic can come back in goal. And that Chelsea squad is very good. Maybe another midfielder for depth because of Lavia. And Chelsea, I feel like this is the start. I feel like this trophy is the start of something big for Chelsea, and that worries me. I feel like it's the start of Chelsea's future, maybe. Like, oh, they're going to win more. They're back in the Champions League. They've won the trophy. That is massive for the mentality of the players. I feel like it's the start of something for Chelsea, and yeah, that worries me a bit. So, first half, we're not going to talk about it for long because it's irrelevant now. But Chelsea looked a little bit shaky. They were losing the second balls. The Betis left winger, who I'm going to mispronounce his name, so I'm not going to bother saying it, and Isco were causing them issues. Gusto struggled, and then Reece James came on. Reece James is so good. Like, if Reece James stays fit, he's the best right back for me in the world, but his injuries mean that he goes to Trent. I think if Reece James stays fit, I think he's best right back in the world when he's fit. Betis, they look more aggressive, they look more organised in that first half, and I think Maresca maybe went to it and underestimated Betis, who had all their players fully fresh, fully rested. Betis were on up for it, and Maresca was like, okay, no, we've got to take this serious. And Chelsea just showed Betis, look, we were nicer than you in the first half, but this is what Chelsea do. We ain't going to lose the Conference League finals for Betis. And yeah, Chelsea were good because the total dominance after half time, it wasn't like Cole Palmer did everything and they made it 2-1 out of individual moments. Like, it was coming anyway. Like, Chelsea was so dominant in that second half defensively, in midfield. Caicedo and Enzo started running the show. But yeah, of course, Cole Palmer was the difference maker. But I don't think Betis had a shot in the second half till the 75th minute or something. And to be honest, Chelsea could have made it 5-1. That Nico Jackson, when he was through on goal, and he that was embarrassing. I don't know if he got injured running or, too much time to think. But it could have been 5-1. Like, the dominance of Chelsea in that second half, it was unbelievable. Like, Chelsea looked like a Champions League team. There's a fly there. Chelsea looked like a Champions League team playing in the UEFA Conference League. Like, Chelsea are a Champions League team now. And you could just see that difference in quality. Even with Reece James, you could see his leadership, what he brings to Chelsea, like a proper captain. And yeah, Maresca, the starting 11, but the subs were spot on. He brought Reece James on at the right time. That made a difference, brought the leadership. I don't know if he's just protecting Reece James because of injuries, but if Reece James can stay fit, That's massive for Chelsea. Sancho was fantastic. Please pay the 25 million for Sancho. Like, for 25 million pounds, it's a good bench option, James Sancho. But you probably want a better starting left winger, let's be honest. But I want you to give us 25 million pounds for Sancho. But Manchester United had to give Chelsea 3.3 million for Mount playing in a final. And I think Sancho's clause is 4.8 million. So Chelsea basically used the Mount money and paid us 1.2 million. And they could send Sancho back, which isn't ideal if that is the case. But please buy Sancho. He did really well. And the thing with Sancho is, you know he can do that. He's good in the pockets. He's good at finessing the shots in, but he doesn't do that often. He's so inconsistent. And it used to drive me mad at United because Sancho would have 3 or 4 games where he's really good, he's scoring, he's taking on plays, he's making things happen, and then have other games where he'll do nothing and he's the most passive backwards sideways winger ever. And it's like, take on your man, drive forward. He's so inconsistent. I think if he had that consistency and he did that more because he was really good when he came on, you would see like the good side of Sancho. But I'm hoping Chelsea buy him. Palmer was just elite. And what I noticed about Palmer was he was getting more license to almost become right-wing Palmer. And I sometimes think that Palmer needs to simplify his game and go more on that right wing to allow him to simplify his game. I think he's overthought it a little bit. And I think you have Palmer on the right. And in that area, he got 2 assists. In that right wing area, he's got 2 assists, 2 brilliant assists, making things happen, got a bit of confidence, not overthinking it. And he took the game by the scruff of the neck. And Cole Palmer was ridiculous today. It was just silly how good he was in a final today. And he shows up in big games, Cole Palmer. I know he's dropped off recently, but he looked at Isco in that first half and he thought, that should be me. And he came out in the second half and he was unbelievable. So from 0 control to full control, Chelsea just ended up bullying Betis. And I think the physical level showed. I think Betis are good technically and they worked their socks off the first half. But the second half, Caicedo, nobody can run more than Caicedo. Like, his legs are insane. Chelsea's physical dominance, Chelsea's quality just showed in that second half. As I said, Cole Palmer, 4 goals and assists in 4 finals. He lives for the finals. Even England and the Euros. He's a big game player. I think he's very good. It's not like Martin Odegaard, where Arsenal needed versus Real Madrid, PSG, and he goes missing. Cole Palmer's one of those, but I do find, obviously, he can't be good in every big game, and he's had a drop-off period. But he's not a player that goes missing. He's a player that he could have a crap game, but in the 60th minute, he'll come up with a pass, and that will be the assist, or have a shot, and that will be the goal. It's like Bruno Fernandez. Bruno Fernandez can play crap for 70 minutes and produce something in 10 minutes for Man United to win us the game, which is the reason we've not been relegated. And while Bruno was crap in the Europa League final, he was amazing in the FA Cup final versus Man City. You can't be good in every final sometimes. But Cole Palmer's that kind of guy that in a final, in a big game, I feel like he was going to turn it around. And today, 4 out of 6 dribbles, 2 assists. He was going out to that right-hand side, causing issues. I liked that he did that. I don't like Palmer too central. I don't like Palmer too deep. I don't like Palmer too much on the left. I think Palmer is best in the right half space. Never going to happen. But Ruben Amorim plays right-sided 10. I would dream of Palmer and then Ahmad right wing back. That would be my dream as a Man United fan. Never going to happen. Palmer would reject us. We can't afford him anyway. But I get him in that right half space, Maresca, because he is your best player. Caicedo's been your best player this season. But Palmer, you get him in that right half space. He can take the game by the scruff of the neck. He can make things happen. And I felt that Chelsea were just better in that second half in general because they were stretching the pitch, because they were using the width more, making things happen. I want to give a shout out to Enzo Fernandez. Thought he was excellent. Goal and assist today. But with Enzo Fernandez, again, the late box runs, getting in dangerous areas. A lot of people didn't like that he was being used as a box midfielder, but I think he's shown how good he can be there. I think he's got 8 goals and 14 assists this season, which is 22 goal contributions from midfield, which is ridiculous because I remember there was a bit when people used to joke that he barely scored for Chelsea, and I think he's been really good. Caicedo, I think, deserved the goal to make it 4-1. He's been a monster all season. He almost just deserved his goal. He does what Caicedo does is such an underrated job, and yeah, like, I'm surprised that he wasn't in many team of the seasons this year. But he does so much work off the ball to make it easier for everyone else on the ball. He protects the defence, but also he's pretty good on the ball at progressing it as well. For me, Caicedo is one of the most underrated midfielders out there. He's just phenomenal. And I just think, Chelsea have got this good midfield. Lavy is good if he can stay fit. Just get the spine, get a bit of experience in there because you've already got all these young players coming in. You've got Esteval, who's going to be ridiculous talent. He's been called up for Brazil coming in. And I think when Chelsea sort out that spine, Chelsea might be an issue. They might be a problem. Maresca, as I said, Sancho, good sub. Kieran Dewsbury, not been the most convincing, but I thought his cameo today was good. I think some of his recent cameos have been good. I think he'll probably leave Chelsea in the summer, but I think some of his recent cameos have been better. Absolutely. I thought the tactical shifts from Maresca as well, not just the subs, but they were stretching Betis more. They were taking advantage of the space more, tiring Betis out. Isco's legs just went in that second half. Sancho again having that right foot on the left hand side, cutting in. It gave Betis something different to think about, and it caused them issues. And Palmer just pulling right, opening up space for others, just turning, doing his thing, doing his passes. He just changed the game. And yeah, like Jackson probably owed Chelsea that goal at that point in time as well. I'm not sure what his future holds. Still think he's a good player, but he's just not the most reliable. But look, this win matters. People might say it's the Conference League. Arsenal fans will say it's the Conference League because they're jealous they haven't won a trophy. I'm a Man United fan. Trophy is a trophy. Yes, the Champions League's the best. Yes, the Premier League is the best trophy. But if you're in the Conference League, you're in it to win it. Like that's it. You want to win that silverware. And Chelsea can complete the set, and they can say they're the first team to complete the set. So for me, the Conference League is as good as the Carabao Cup. It's a decent trophy. It's a trophy to have. Arsenal were upset when they went out the Carabao Cup. I don't understand why people are laughing at the Conference League. Like, yes, Chelsea should have won it, and if Chelsea didn't win it, you could say, oh, they should have won it. But Betis gave them a fight in the first half. They've won a trophy. They got top four. They've had a better season than Arsenal. They've had a better season than pretty much everyone bar Newcastle and Liverpool, in my opinion, because I think Newcastle winning their first trophy in 70 years and not spending any money. But yeah, look, this is important because the young players are going to learn from these finals, these wins. They're going to be hungry for more trophies now they've experienced it. There's confidence, there's experience in winning a trophy. I think it's really beneficial for Chelsea. And I look at Chelsea, and as I've said in this video, what do they need? Centre-back, left-wing striker, and a midfielder due to Levy's fitness. I think Petrovic will come and goal. Get, like, not 19-year-old kids in. Get some 23, 24 Premier League proven top players in. Get that spine. And look, you're in the UCL next season. You're going to have the UCL money. You've won a trophy. There's a good vibe around Chelsea. Like, I'm worried Chelsea are coming back. I'm worried, Chelsea fallen off a bit. But I feel like Chelsea, they've sorted themselves out. Look, the ownership, there's questions over it. What are they going to do? Are they going to make some silly decisions? But I feel like this is the start of Chelsea on the way back. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.